Hi, my dear listeners. Welcome to the new episode of Peter's English podcast. This episode will be about history. I want to talk with you about history because I like history. I'm a big fan of the history. In today's episode, we will talk about Nazism in Germany. The situation after the First War was in Germany very bad. Germany was defeated after the First War, and the situation in the Germany was very bad. Everyone was very poor. People don't have any work. People don't have any money. But then the situation was better. But after the world economic crash, the situation in Germany was very bad, and this situation was very good for extremist groups that could be very powerful, and one of these groups of these groups was NSDAP. NSDAP was very dangerous group of people. Their leader was Adolf Hitler, and he hated Jews, hated Slavic people, hated Gypsies. But the most important thing in his life was that he hated Jews, and he was thinking that only Germans were the Aryan race. That was the most important thing in his life was that he was thinking that only Germans were the best Aryan race in the world, and only a German can be successful and in the world, and only Germans was the best race in the world. His Nazi group was describing an Aryan man as blonde, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and very strong body. It was very racist and most dangerous enemy in the eyes of Nazi group were Jews, and now we can continue that only Germans were the super race, and everyone else were sub people, the people who cannot live, who were only people who cannot be free. And now we can continue with the situation, how the Nazi group was started to be the most powerful group in the Germany. After the election in 1933, the most powerful group was NSDAP, and they were very popular. They were a very strong fan club. They of people. They had their own uniform, and they were two parts. The first was SA and the second was SS. The both groups were military groups. They were very dangerous. They were very strong, and they were very brutal against Jews and other gypsies or other people. After the winning of Nazi group with Adolf Hitler, they created Nuremberg laws in the Nazi Germany. In that, Jews couldn't do anything. The Jews stopped, weren't a part of the state. They weren't they didn't have any law. They couldn't do anything in their own state because they weren't people in the eyes of the Nazi state. It was very terrible from them, and the situation was worse after the Kristallnacht in Germany, but that the and this very sad and dark tragedy started when a Polish Jews murdered a German diplomat because his Jewish family was in very extreme situations, and he wanted to show that this situation in the Germany and this situation was very good from the Nazi ideology, because the very strong power was Nazi propaganda in Germany, and the best man for this was Joseph Goebbels. He could use radio or other media for brainwashing everyone in the Germany, and he was very good in that, and he created that the stories that the Jews wanted to kill people in Germany, and he created false information that the whole that every German wanted to stop violence that Jews started, and of course it wasn't true about it, and after this night where many synagogues destroyed, many people were a lot of people went to concentration camps, and many Jewish were murdered. Then Nazi regime created a totalitarian state in that they controlling every aspect of the life of the German, men, men, women, and children, they have their own organizations. Men was trained for for the army. Women was trained for as a mother for Aryan race, and children was learning how to be a a good citizen in Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany, Nazi regime was controlling every aspect in the life of every citizen. They were controlling radio, news, movies, every aspect of the life, and very dangerous was Gestapo that controlled everyone, and people often was telling was telling information about about everyone that wasn't good in eyes of Nazi Germany. Then it's I know it's very strong, and it's very hard topic, but I try to continue. Then Nazi regime created concentration camps and extermination camps that was creating for killing, for systematic killing of every for systematic killing Jews in the Europe, and they created Auschwitz, Birkenau, Treblinka, Majdanek in Poland after the winning in the after the winning in the war with Poland. Nazi Germany murdered of 6 million Jews, gypsies, and other and homosexuals and other people. I'm thinking that if I was telling you everything yes, of course, we can continue about the war situation in Nazi Germany. Nazi regime was controlled economy for the war, and slaves from concentration and extermination camps had to work for Nazi Germany in their companies. It was terrible. A lot of people died, and yes, of course, we can talk about the start of Holocaust, and very dangerous and very brutal were Einsatzgruppen. They were very dangerous, and they were murders that killed 40,000 Jews in Babi Yar. It was terrible, really terrible. And what now? It's what now? I'm looking at my scenario right now. It isn't very very, very very light, very easy to talk about this. But I want to tell you about it because it's very important, and I want to talk about it and discuss about this topic. Yes, of course, I can continue with situation in Slovakia during the Second War. Slovak state was a Nazi puppet state under control Nazi Germany. The president was Josef Tiso. In Slovakia was the situation similar. Gestapo were controlled every aspect of the life in the Slovakia, and Slovak Jewish had to go to concentration and extermination camps, Auschwitz-Birkenau, and a lot of people were murdered. And the best movie about this situation in Slovakia is Obchod na Korze. This movie is set in a little village in the East Slovakia, and Jewish widow had a store, and Antonio Bertko was working there, and he at first he was he wanted to help the Slovak Nazi regime, but he discovered that that this Jewish widow is very kind, and he wanted to help her, and he didn't want to tell about her the Nazi regime in Slovakia. The movie is about the Iranization of in Slovakia, because the situation was the same as in the Nazi Germany. Jews cannot earn and cannot have anything, cannot have any stores, cannot have cannot have anything, and in the Slovakia was situation the same. And this movie shows about the very bad and such situation of Jews in Slovakia. And I think and yes, of course, I can tell you information about Cyclone B that was used for murdering a lot of 6 million people in concentration and extermination camps, and he was producing in Nazi Germany. It was a pesticide for cleaning the buildings, but Nazi Germany was using it for killing 6 million people in concentration camps. It was really terrible. And yes, I want to talk about the situation. About the situation I want to talk. My opinion is that we have to talk about our history, about Nazism in Germany, and we have to stop this bad ideology in when we started in our states, and we have to teach our children about our history, about Nazism, about every extreme and don't democratic totalitarian regimes that are very dangerous. And of course we have to talk and teach people that racism and and anti-Semitic ideology is very bad, very evil, and very dark, and we have to stop it, and we have to fight against it, and we have to teach our children about it. And the best how and my opinion is that we have to visit Auschwitz Birkenau, this museum in Poland, and we have to show everyone what Nazi Germany was, what that this ideology was extremely dangerous, that was that all in their eyes only Germans were Aryan race, that and other people were some people, the people who cannot do anything, who have to be destroyed, who have to be deleted from these places. And in the eyes of Nazi Germany, only Germans were the best race in the world. We have to fight against it because it's very dangerous. And I want to end this very hard topic, and I want to say you bye bye.